That was probably the hardest thing that I've had to say all year. Cowboys and these Bills. Cowboys 10-3. My Bills Mafia 7-6. Spread is Bills by 2. Over under is 50.5. The money line is even for the Cowboys, and the Bills is -120. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any more crazy than that. It does not. 50.3% for the Cowboys, 49.3% for the Bills on the matchup predictor. It does not get, the margin is razor thin. It does not get any thinner than this as far as for margins. And that lets you know that this game can go either way. You guys know I'm very unbiased when it comes to the predictions. I'm always going to go for my team, but we're going to have to break this thing down and really, really mine it out, right? Obviously, let's get into Dak Prescott and Josh Allen. 312 of 450, 3,505 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Josh Allen, 318 of 475, 3,447 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. On the rushing side, you got Pollard with 796 yards, 5 touchdowns. You got Cook on the other side, 789 yards, 1 touchdown. And then on the receiving side, you got Lamb, 1,253 yards, 8 touchdowns. Diggs with 993 yards and 8 touchdowns. Talk about efficiency. Getting into the injury report, Jonathan Hankins will be questionable for the Cowboys. As far as for the Bills, Dalton Kincaid's questionable, Micah Hyde's questionable, AJ Epenesa's questionable, Justin Schroeder's going to be IR, and Taron Johnson will be questionable as well. Now, getting into the last 5 for the Cowboys. 33-13 win against the Eagles, 41-35 win against the Seahawks, 45-10 win against the Commanders, 33-10 win against the Panthers, and then 49-17 win against the Giants. Then getting into the Bills, 20-17 win against Kansas City, 37-34 loss to Eagles in OT, 32-6 win against the Jets, 24-22 loss against the Broncos, and a 24-18 loss against the Bengals. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is going to be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The big differentiating factor is, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to boil down to the quarterbacks. We understand that the Cowboys defense is very strong, but you have an elite quarterback in Josh Allen who's playing mistake-free football for the most part right now. On the flip side, you've got Dak Prescott. He's going to Buffalo. He's going to be playing in the cold. He ain't used to that. Bills defense steps up in these kind of specific games, and they're going to bring the pressure. And if Dak Prescott can't adjust to that pressure that the Bills defense will bring, he is going to throw a pick. And that is what we know about Dak Prescott as well. And I'm not sitting here saying that Josh Allen is probably not going to throw a pick. He's probably going to throw a pick or two as well. But guess what? This is why the game is so even, because both these quarterbacks will be throwing picks. We know it. We understand it. There's going to be some mistakes on the field, and that's why both quarterbacks are going to have to try their best to play mistake-free football. We may see a more conservative approach on both sides. We're going to see some running out of Cook. We're going to see some running out of Pollard. You may see Gabe Davis come out in this game because everyone's been hating on him and talking crazy about him and where he's going to be and how he's not going to be on the team next year and all that other garbage. You're probably going to see Gabe Davis step up in this game because he's been silent. He's been the silent assassin. You're also probably going to see Stephon Diggs step up because this is the team he's playing against, the team that his brother plays for. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see both Diggs play at the same time, but there will be one Diggs on the field, and that's Stephon for the Bills. So, obviously, I'm going for my Bills. I'm rooting for my Bills. But the reality is this. I do think that it's going to come down to the wire. And my biggest problem is whether or not Sean McDermott is going to be able to out-coach McCarthy when it matters the most. We talk about what Bills did to Kansas City and made it a close game. The problem with this one is you're going to need a shootout. You're going to need mistake-free football, And I'm not sure if Sean McDermott is going to be able to outcoach McCarthy and deal with this defense as far as the issues that we have going into this game. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm rooting for my Bills 100%. I want us to get the win. But my analyst mind, my betting mind, and my realist mind is telling me Cowboys by 3. It's telling me Cowboys by 3. Some weird, crazy game, high-scoring game, and they manage a way to get down the field in the end and score a field goal and win. I never want anyone to tell me that I'm a biased person, ever. Ever. Because I'll tell you this right now. That was probably the hardest thing that I've had to say all year. Because I had to be real with myself about my team and where we stand. Do I want the win? Hell yes, I want the win. But the reality is this. If Sean McDermott cannot figure out this defense and coach this game when he needs to when we get to the fourth quarter, we're probably going to lose. The realist in me is saying Cowboys, but the fan in me is obviously rooting for my Bills. And the reality is this. If we're going to win this game, the Bills are going to have to play at such a level to where, they go out there and dominate. I hear people always say something, well, Jay, a win's a win. And I get that. I totally get it. I understand that, right? We've been streaming these games. We've been having great conversations. We've been having fun. We've, been on an emotional roller coaster for a certain few of you. At the end of the day, a win isn't just a win. These games mean something to certain people, right? When you're yelling on, your couch, when you're jumping up and down, when you're excited, it becomes more than just a win. So a win is not just a win. The reality is this. The Bills as an organization are in shambles. Yes, they had the win against Kansas City, but that does not discredit all the issues and the things that need to be fixed. So when we talk about the Cowboys coming into Buffalo and what Josh Allen and this team can do, we're not talking about the talent of Josh Allen anymore. We're not talking about the offense because we know that they can move the ball. It's going to come down to defense. It's going to come down to coaching and whether or not the Bills can perform at the level that the Cowboys are right now. Because make no mistake, the NFC is in a lock right now between the Cowboys and the 49ers. One of those teams are potentially going to the Super Bowl. That's just the reality of it. Who in the AFC really can put up a fight against the Cowboys and the 49ers? Well, on Sunday, we're going to see if the Bills have it in them. And that's just the reality of it.